Okay. Oh, here's this I dug up. Uh, what good is this going to be? Um, I don't know. Having this doesn't solve the problem in terms of the microphone. It might be alright, but for wind noise or something. Now, in terms of falling off or, having something here that will forfeit the camera somehow, um, about the most I can do is sit on the front porch or mess around in the apartment here. I can't imagine much else. It looks lopsided though. Let's see. There. Um, I don't know. I thought about getting one that's better than this rather than uh, depend on this, but this is one of these specials that takes 30 days to get here from some faraway land. I will say it's comfortable. It's padded, which means that you can put a lot of clamping power on there with the Velcro. Uh, but will it fall off? I hope I don't find out that it will. And until I do, then I'll think that it might. But I recommend this sort of arrangement for those, you know, doing things. Now, the way this I think is practical. Where is it? I have here. Yeah, this little item here, this number. You see here is a little remote control. You know, pair this device with the GoPro, and then it has several programmed buttons to do what you want it to do: off, on, start, stop. It even has a feature where if you're recording and you want to mark certain places in terms of editing or something like that, you push a button and it makes a mark in the recording to help you find your place for some things. Several features like that, and it has, the wristband. This is about $20, and frankly, without this, I think it would be, annoying to try to use the camera. Because right now, for example, I could turn the camera on or off, or I could say record or stop, or along the way I could say highlight this or that, or along the way in a video I could take a picture, still shot in the flow, depending on what you program for this device. It's programmable, and this one's made. The name of it is Telesin, Telesin, and then about 40 different vendors. I picked one that offered free delivery. Why not? Why not? Some of them want delivery. fee for that, but you can, you know, buy from a vendor with free delivery. And so on. Well, that's the highlight of my day. I've been under the weather again. Now then, some might say, well, why did you spend money for the wristband? You know, see here, this thing, a remote for a camera you might never use any more than ever. You could have paid $20 for a haircut. Yep, that's true. I could have spent the money for the barber here in this place to cut my hair. But I thought I would fool around with this camera for a while. I'll get around to it. And of course, you know, they want you to do some expensive stuff. You know, GoPro wants you to sign up for something with them, you know, that I can't afford. And then in terms of the brutal economy features, well, I have to pair with a smartphone and, you know, offload to that in practical terms rather than to a PC or something. If I still had all the other stuff, I would do that, but instead I'll offload to the phone, and then from there upload as usual, rather than depend on, you know, something with a big monthly fee that I can't afford. You know, I'll take the slow and least expensive route rather than the other, because, you know, I no longer have a useful option. But I know somebody said, well, damn, you should have gotten a haircut instead of getting the, what I consider the enabling remote control for the camera. Where I could have ordered, you know, an Arby's meal with the same money. Well, this evening I'm going to eat, you know, my beans. That's all I have. Not spilling the beans, that's a different topic, different context with reference to bean counters and their friends who try to maintain safety or security or effectiveness. My reasons for not spilling the beans include some things that people can figure out for themselves. And I've never spilt the beans come hell or high water. But by the same token, the beans that I have in a bowl from the kitchen are not the bush beans that I like. Of course, one coincidence leads to another about a word like beans, or for that matter, something as silly as this camera is almost like a beanie. If you think of it as what, attracting attention that, or something. I can't match wits with others who know better, like, you know, there's a truck driver or a retired truck driver who used to have something like this, although I think it wasn't as upholstered as this particular model, which also comes with a thing that allows you to clamp your telephone to your forehead. I hadn't thought seriously of doing that, but I could. Just like I could have, you know, bought Chick-fil-A for old time's sake. with the same money that I paid for this thing. You know, this is a GoPro 11 Black. You know, when I was shopping for this some time ago, right after I lost the JVC, as a matter of fact, uh, the GoPro 12 had just come out. But I heard about people saying, watch out, you might be better off with the 11. And I read up on it. I said, well, there's a savings of about $50 or more, plus the advice of some folks. I said, what the hell, I'll take the $50, and if I also at the same time dodge a few issues with the number 12, then that's okay. Of course, it's turned out to be academic, hasn't it? But anyway, this is nearly, well, no, not nearly, but going on 12 minutes. Oh, quite a bit after, less than that, but no problem with that, is there?